recently. They did it with AIDS and with other programs that they have to kill off the blacks.
And, sir, that's another point, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've had other medical doctors on and folks that study statistics. Before, around 40% of children would die before the age of 5 or 6, and so that would show that the average life expectancy was 55 years old in frontier days. But if you lived past 5 or 6, people actually were living longer, 80, 90 in many cases on average. You go to old graveyards, you see half the graves are for 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 2-year-olds. But now if you take out the infant mortality rate being lower today than it was 150 years ago, our life expectancy has plunged. So has the Russians, the Africans, every country that takes vaccines.
Absolutely. And the thing is, this is why Bill and Melinda Gates, who are totally dedicated to population control and are simply funding, putting the seeds up above the Arctic Circle, that's why they're funding giving the vaccines to all those little black children.
Let's talk about them. I'll just go ahead and keep you for another 20 minutes if you can do it, because I want to go to Chris, John, Steve, Mark, and Rob, and everybody else. Let's talk about Bill and Melinda Gates, the ghouls of Planned Parenthood. They run it.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
On September 11th, 2001, along with hundreds of my fellow troops, I went to Ground Zero, and we knew what to do. Or at least we thought we did.
Truth Rising is a breakthrough 9/11 film that finally gives first responders a platform to tell their story.
Whitman, EPA director, on the 18th made a statement that the air was safe to breathe.
This film follows the growing momentum of 9/11 truth as brave souls throughout the world take action against their global masters.
He had his hand over the radio while he was getting a countdown. He takes his hand off and you hear 3, 2, 1, and it was boom, 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 boom.
This is an emergency transmission worldwide. Download Truth Rising at prisonplanet.tv and aggressively spread it worldwide, or order the DVD at INFOWARS.com. If we don't expose the government-sponsored terror, they're going to commit more acts and bring in martial law.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. You wouldn't buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30% while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Hi, it's MZ, wondering how many of us Alex Jones fans intend to take the swine flu vaccine. I'm not, don't trust it, but then I don't want to get the disease either. So I use PureWorks, a unique disinfectant that comes in foam or spray form. PureWorks is not your typical hand disinfectant. There is no alcohol to dry your skin, and it lasts for hours, not minutes. Use PureWorks to protect yourself from disease and infection. You can find out all about it and order it online at nogerms.info. That's nogerms.info. Don't introduce potentially dangerous chemicals or toxins into your body to keep you well when they could actually cause the sickness you want to avoid. Don't pick your nose. Don't shake hands, and don't handle banisters, rails, and doorknobs. Do try PureWorks, available online at wholesale pricing to Alex Jones listeners. Go to nogerms.info. That's nogerms.info. Be well and stay well. Best MZ.
The preacher man says it's the end of time, and the Mississippi River, she's a going dry.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you discover that there's a technological enslavement system, a scientific dictatorship in place, and we have stacks of their textbooks here in the office, we show them to you daily on air, where they're talking about how we're stupid and how they control us, and they laugh about how they're killing us, it angers you. And then to see the poverty pimps, the liberals, Margaret Sanger, hired by the Rockefellers 90-something years ago, and I sent off to the universities and got her actual copies of her letters, not just quotes in books, calling blacks subhuman garbage, weeds that have to be killed. She came as a liberal lover to the blacks. W.E.B. Du Bois, they hired him to go out. And they've destroyed their family with the welfare, paid the women not to have men in the house. They've done it to everybody else's community now. Blacks were the test. They sold the narcotics in their communities. They put the Planned Parenthood in their communities. And then the liberals on TV, Chris Matthews says, if you don't agree with Obama, you're a racist. And they all, so the real eugenicists, the real hardcore people that hate blacks, I've documented, they're the ones that pose as the liberals. You see, blacks, you don't have to worry about the FBI-controlled Ku Klux Klan wearing the sheets. The real killers are the liberals, the so-called liberals. They're not liberal. They got all these well-meaning idiots under them that don't understand what they're part of. But Bill and Melinda Gates, Bill Gates is part of Planned Parenthood. He's given over $80 billion with Warren Buffett to their foundation. I have the article somewhere in the stack. Guys, pull it up on screen. Times of London. Rich meet, secret meeting for population control in New York 4 months ago. Dr. Monteith, short segment. We're going to come back and talk to Chris, John, Steve, Mark, and Rob, and then let you go. But you're an expert on eugenics. You were talking about this before I was born. I'm 35 years old. I've been doing this for over 40. Explain to them what his global vaccine program is. He wants to release mosquitoes that have vaccines in them. Explain to people how his father was the former head of Planned Parenthood, who we're dealing with.
Well, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is funding all sorts of terrible things. And one of the worst things, of course, is this massive vaccine program for Africa. Now, of course, here in the United States, why they have taken the mercury out of childhood vaccines, in other words, vaccines that are given for childhood diseases, unfortunately, they've left it in the vaccines that are given to children. What a clever study. In fact, now they've mandated that children as young as 6 months of age start getting regular influenza shots with a full dose of mercury. Now with the swine flu vaccine, they're going to be able to get them 4 times as much because they want 2 shots of regular seasonal vaccine and 2 shots of swine vaccine starting at 6 months of age, but through the maximum amount of damage as far as the mercury. And they know about it because we have their study. It's called the Southwood Study. It was actually a report. It was a meeting that was held in the year 2000 when the people from the CDC and the World Health Organization, the vaccine manufacturers, got together at a place called Simpson Wood. It's the Simpson Wood report. And they said, the mercury does produce the autism that destroy the lives of children. And our children are not going to get it, but how are we going to keep the public from knowing? Because if they knew this, they wouldn't take our vaccine. So we know that they know what they're doing. And they destroyed the lives of our children. Between 1 in 60 and 1 in 90 American boys is now autistic, and their lives are destroyed, and they know what they're doing. But Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation are funding the vaccine programs in Africa, and we left the mercury in the vaccines we're giving to the African children. Now, that not only destroy their minds, they destroy their fertility. And the fertility is destroyed in this generation and in subsequent generations. And there's not just this generation they destroy fertility, but, in their children and their children's children. One of the most vicious and horrible things that has ever been done and is being population. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would they do that? First of all, why would people who are dedicated to population control want to save the lives of little African children? And they don't want to save their lives. They want to destroy them. Then
yeah, that's 1 + 1 = 100. It doesn't make sense. In fact, put that article back up. Secret meeting with the Rockefellers, the Gateses,